Everyone, buckle up because today we're diving headfirst into the world of supercars. We're talking about the fastest cars on the planet right now in 2025.
Yeah, it's a pretty exciting time to be following this.
Absolutely. I've been digging through articles, rankings, comparisons, you name it, and things get a little, well, competitive.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, some sources are saying one car is the king, while others are like, hold your horses. It's a real battle for the top spot.
Huh, that's interesting. Well, from what I've seen, it really does seem like every country is trying to claim the title of King of Speed.
Right, and it's not just about horsepower anymore. It's about cutting-edge tech, aerodynamics, and some seriously clever engineering.
Yeah.
Okay, before we get into all that 2025 madness, how about a quick trip down memory lane?
Okay.
You know, gotta pay respect to the cars that paved the way. Think about those iconic supercars from the 60s. The Lamborghini Miura, the Ford GT40, the Ferrari 250 GTO. These were the OG speed demons, the ones that made jaws drop.
Yeah, they were really in a league of their own back then. Setting the stage for the whole hypercar scene we have today. It's pretty amazing to see how far things have come.
Right. It's crazy to think that back then those cars were pushing boundaries and showcasing what was possible with design and engineering.
Yeah, and those innovations, those really bold ideas, they eventually, trickle down to the cars that we drive today.
Absolutely. Like, who'd have thought we'd have cars with carbon fiber bodies or engines that sip fuel, like a hummingbird?
Right.
Okay, enough reminiscing. Back to the present, where the battle for the fastest car is raging.
Yeah.
And leading the charge straight out of Sweden, we've got the Koenigsegg Jesko Absolut.
Ah, the Jesko Absolut. It's like a perfect example of the less is more philosophy. Minimalist design, really focused.
Minimalist. This thing looks like it was sculpted by the wind itself. It's got this claimed theoretical top speed over 311 miles per hour.
Yeah.
That's like teleporting. I mean, how is that even possible?
Well, that's where the minimalist approach comes in, right? Koenigsegg, they're all about lightweight construction, using those advanced materials, carbon fiber, titanium, to shave off every ounce they can without, compromising strength. And that allows them to get to those insane speeds with, well, a smaller, more efficient engine than some of their rivals.
Wait, so you're saying they're not just stuffing a massive engine in there and hoping for the best?
No. It's all about finding that perfect balance between power and weight. Think of it like a cheetah. Not the biggest or the strongest predator out there, but it's incredibly fast and agile, right?
Oh.
Because it's so lightweight.
Okay, I see the analogy. But 311 miles per hour. Come on, is that even achievable in the real world? I mean, has anyone actually seen this thing hit that speed?
Well, that's the big question, isn't it? Koenigsegg, they say their simulations, show it's possible. But it hasn't been officially verified yet.
Oh, so it's all theoretical at this point.
Well, for now. And that's part of what makes this whole race so exciting. We're all waiting to see who can actually back up their claims.
It's like watching a high-stakes poker game with everyone holding their cards close to their chest. But while Koenigsegg is over there playing it cool, there's a contender from Texas that's coming in hot with, guns blazing, the Hennessey Venom F5.
Yeah, the Venom F5. Now, that's a prime example of American muscle taken to the extreme, I'd say.
And they're definitely not shy about it. They're also claiming a top speed of 311 miles per hour, just like the Koenigsegg. But here's where things get a little wilder. The Venom F5 has this, get this, 1817 horsepower engine.
Yeah.
That's more power than some small airplanes. How do they even fit all that power into one car?
Well, it's a great example of how that American muscle car philosophy is evolving. It's not just about brute force anymore. It's about combining that power with really advanced technology and aerodynamic design.
So it's like they're taking that classic American muscle and giving it a high-tech makeover.
Exactly. And that lightweight carbon fiber body isn't just for looks. It helps it slice through the air like a rocket.
So we've got Sweden going for lightweight agility and Texas going for, pure horsepower. It's a real clash of titans. But wait a minute, shouldn't we be talking about Bugatti? I mean, they're practically synonymous with speed. They've been at the top of the game for, forever.
Oh, absolutely. You can't talk about the fastest cars in the world without mentioning the legend, the Bugatti Chiron Super Sport 300 Plus Ruth.
Right. This is the car that actually broke the 300 mile per hour barrier, a record-breaking 304.773 mile per hour. I mean, can you imagine what that must feel like?
It's got to be unbelievable.
It's like being strapped to a rocket.
What's really impressive is that they achieve those speeds with This, combination of raw power and meticulous engineering.
Yeah, their engines are legendary. Didn't they have some crazy 16-cylinder engine or something?
Yeah, it's actually called a W16.
A W16? What in the world is that?
Well, picture this. It's essentially two V8 engines bolted together. So you get this monstrously powerful but compact engine.
Wow, two V8s, that's insane.
Yeah, it's a real engineering marvel, unique to Bugatti, and it's a big part of how they hit those insane speeds.
Okay, starting to understand why Bugatti is such a legend, but they're not just resting on their laurels, right? I heard they've got this new car coming out, the Tourbillon. What's the deal with that?
Yeah, the Tourbillon. This is where things get really interesting. It's not as fast as the Chiron Super Sport 300+ Moyne, but it signals a pretty significant shift. It's a hybrid.
Wait, Bugatti's going hybrid. I thought they were all about those, massive gas-guzzling engines.
Times are changing, even for a company like Bugatti.
So they're taking their legendary engineering and adding in some electric power. I gotta admit, I'm curious to see how that plays out. But hold up. Before we get too far ahead of ourselves, there are a couple of other contenders in this race for speed that we can't ignore.
Oh, you're right. This is the global showdown, and we've got some serious competition coming in from America and the United Arab Emirates.
Ooh, this is getting good. So which one do we tackle next? The American muscle car or the mysterious hypercar from the UAE? Decisions.
Let's stick with America for now. You know that American contender we talked about? The one with the, the kind of controversial past?
Oh yeah, the SSC Tuatara.
The Tuatara.
What happened there? Did it actually hit those crazy speeds they were claiming, or was it all hype?
Well, those initial claims were definitely ambitious. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But after some independent testing and, a lot of back and forth, the SSC Tuatara has a verified top speed of 295 mph.
Wow, 295, that's still insanely fast. So maybe not those initial record-breaking numbers, but definitely a force to be reckoned with.
Oh, absolutely. And the Tuatara story, it's a good reminder of why independent verification is so important in all this, right? There's a lot on the line here. Bragging rights, tech advancements, even national pride.
It's like the Wild West out there. Everyone's trying to one-up each other. But speaking of pushing the limits, what about that mysterious hypercar from the UAE, the Devel 16?
Ah, yes, the Devel 16. It's a fascinating one. Track only, not street legal, and shrouded in secrecy. But the claimed top speed, a mind-blowing 348 mph.
Hold on, 348? That's like faster than a plane taking off? Is that even possible? I mean, wouldn't the thing just like lift off the ground?
Well, that's the big question, isn't it? The Devel 16 speed, it's based on simulations and theoretical calculations, but it hasn't actually been, officially tested or verified.
So it's kind of a big what if at this point. Like, what if we built a car with a crazy, powerful engine and just let it loose on a track? Could it actually hit those insane speeds?
Exactly. And that's what makes this whole race for speed so captivating. It's cutting-edge engineering, bold claims, and a little bit of mystery.
Okay, so we've got all these amazing hypercars, each with their own unique approach, pushing the limits of speed and technology, but how do they actually do it? It can't just be about having a big engine, right?
You're absolutely right. It's about a whole bunch of factors working together in perfect harmony. Powerful engines are definitely key, and we're seeing amazing innovation there. Bugatti's W16 engine, the way Koenigsegg uses turbocharging, it's incredible. But there's a lot more to it than just raw power.
Yeah, so what else is going on under the hood, so to speak?
Well, aerodynamics for one thing. These cars, they're designed to cheat the wind, minimizing drag and maximizing downforce. It's kind of like, think about holding your hand out a car window. Flat, it pushes back, right?
Yeah.
But tilt it and it slices through. These cars, they're designed to slice through the air, minimizing that resistance so they can reach those top speeds.
So it's like they're using the air itself to help them go faster. But how do they do that? Is it all in the design, those sleek, futuristic looks?
Well, that's definitely part of it. Look at the Bugatti Chiron Super Sport 300+ row, for example.
Mm-hmm.
That long tail, the redesigned rear diffuser. They're not just for show. At those speeds, the air itself becomes this massive force. And the design, it manipulates that airflow, creates downforce. It's basically sucking the car to the road for stability. Without it, the car would be, like a leaf in a hurricane.
So it's like they're battling the very force that's trying to lift them off the ground. But how do they make these cars so powerful, yet so lightweight? I mean, aren't those two things usually at odds?
That's where materials science comes in. We're talking about carbon fiber, titanium, magnesium alloys. These really advanced materials that are incredibly strong but super lightweight. Remember the Koenigsegg Jesko Absolut? A big part of its speed comes from how lightweight it is.
Yeah, they're basically trying to build a car that's as light as a feather but strong as, like, a tank. Pretty amazing what they can do these days. But what about the everyday driver? Are we going to be zipping around in 300-mile-per-hour cars anytime soon? I'm not sure I could handle that.
Well, maybe not 300 mile-per-hour, but those advancements we see in these hypercars, they often, they trickle down into everyday vehicles. Safety features, fuel efficiency, even the materials used in your car today, they all have roots in the innovations pioneered by these speed demons.
So maybe we won't be breaking the sound barrier on our morning commute, but it's cool to know that those crazy hypercars are pushing the boundaries for everyone. Speaking of pushing boundaries, we've talked a lot about gas engines, but there's this new player in the game, electricity. The Rimac Nevera, it's a great example of how electric cars are shaking things up.
The thing about electric hypercars is that instant torque. Electric motors, they deliver max power the second you hit the accelerator.
Yeah.
Totally different from a gasoline engine. The Rimac Nevera goes from 0 to 60 miles/hour in just 1.85 seconds.
Wait, 1.85 seconds? Are you serious? What does that even feel like? Does your body even have time to react?
It's like, imagine being pressed back into your seat with incredible force.
Yeah.
Like you're being launched into space.
I think my brain would short circuit if I experienced that kind of acceleration. But seriously, this shift towards electric power, it seems like a big deal. Is this the future of supercars?
It's definitely a major trend. Electric hypercars are proving they can compete with and even surpass, traditional combustion engines. And of course, they're much better for the environment, which is becoming more and more important these days. Even Bugatti, a company known for those powerful gas engines, they're embracing hybrid technology with their new Tourbillon.
So it's like we're watching an epic battle unfold. Gasoline versus electric, each pushing the other to new heights of performance. But you know what? I have a feeling there are even more surprises in store for us. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, technology is constantly evolving. Who knows what the future holds?
All right, let's recap. We've got all these amazing hypercars battling it out for the fastest car title, pushing the limits of speed, power, design. We've got Swedish engineering, Texan muscle, American ingenuity, even that mysterious contender from the UAE. And on top of that, we've got this clash of titans, gasoline versus electric, shaping the future of the car industry. It's a lot to take in. So what's next? Where do we go from here?
Well, that's the exciting part, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're at this point where, innovation is happening so fast.
Yeah.
So what's going to be the next big thing? What will define the next generation of supercars?
Ooh, good question. What will the fastest car look like in 5 or 10 years? Will it be electric? Will it, defy gravity? Will it even HAE wheels?
Well, you'll have to wait and see.
That's right. Stay tuned because in the final part of our deep dive, we're going to tackle that very question. We'll explore the future of speed and all those mind-blowing possibilities. Don't miss it.
Okay, Speed Demons, welcome back. We've talked about some seriously fast cars pushing the limits of what's possible, Swedish engineering, Texan muscle, even that mystery contender from the UAE. But now, let's talk about the future of fast. What's next? What will the fastest car look like in 5, maybe 10 years?
Well, that's the question, isn't it? It's hard to say for sure, but with all the advancements happening, who knows? Electric powertrains, AI, even space travel, all these things could completely change what fast even means.
Okay, space travel. Now you're speaking my language. Are we talking flying cars?
Well, maybe not flying cars just yet, but the technology being developed for space exploration, especially the material science stuff and the propulsion systems, they could have a huge impact on how we design and build high-performance vehicles down here on Earth.
Right, lighter and stronger materials. But how does space travel fit into all this? Think about it. To escape Earth's gravity, you need incredible power, right? But also minimal weight. Those materials they're developing for spacecraft, they had to be insanely strong and durable, yet still super lightweight. And eventually, those advancements could trickle down to cars, making them lighter, faster, and more efficient.
So basically, we could have cars built with the same stuff as spaceships. That's wild. Okay, but let's talk about electric power. All the cars we've discussed, the ones really pushing the limits, they seem to have some kind of electric component. Is that the future of fast?
It's definitely a strong contender. Remember the Rimac Nevera, that instant acceleration, 0 to 60 in under 2 seconds? That's the power of electric motors. And as battery technology gets better, we could see even faster, even more powerful electric supercars with ranges that can compete with those gas guzzlers.
Okay, so I'm picturing it now. A sleek, futuristic electric hypercar, maybe with some crazy active aero, like something out of a fighter jet silently blowing past the competition. But what about those of us who still love the roar of a gasoline engine? Are we going to be left in the dust?
Well, there's a really interesting development that could bridge that gap. Synthetic fuels. They're carbon neutral, so way better for the environment. Think of them as a cleaner alternative to gasoline.
So you're saying we could have the sound, the feel of a classic high-performance engine, but without, the guilt of polluting the planet.
Exactly. Early research shows that synthetic fuels might actually be more efficient than gasoline and still deliver that power and performance that enthusiasts love. So imagine a car that sounds amazing, but has a much smaller environmental impact.
I love it. Okay, my head is spinning with all these possibilities. Space-age materials, electric hypercars, guilt-free gasoline engines. It seems like the future of fast is pretty bright. But what about those, the wild cards? Those totally out-there technologies that could change everything.
Well, one word: autonomy. Advancements in AI and self-driving technology could make these cars even faster and safer. Think about it. A car that can perfectly navigate a track at crazy speeds, reacting to everything in milliseconds with no human error.
Whoa, like a self-driving race car. That's kind of scary, but also kind of amazing. But is it even a race car if there's no driver?
That's a philosophical question for another time. But the potential is there. Who knows, maybe we'll see cars with designs inspired by nature, like a falcon or a cheetah, or cars that can change their shape depending on the conditions. The possibilities are pretty much endless.
My mind is officially blown. It sounds like the future of fast is going to be one wild ride. So to wrap things up, what does all this mean for our listeners? What should they be keeping an eye on in the next few years?
Well, the next 5 to 10 years are going to be huge for the car world. Pay attention to battery tech, synthetic fuels, AI. All these things are going to play a big role. And don't be afraid to dream big. We could be on the verge of a transportation revolution, and who knows, maybe you'll be driving a car that's faster, safer, and more sustainable than anything we can imagine right now.
And on that note, we've reached the finish line of our deep dive into the world of fast cars. We hope you've enjoyed the ride and maybe learned a few things along the way, and most importantly, that you're as excited about the future of fast as we are. So until next time, keep your eyes on the horizon and that foot on the gas pedal of curiosity.